I'm going to get this camera straight. I am. It's kind of crazy right now. It's a little weird in here. First of all, it's hot. I don't know what's wrong. Well, I do know what's wrong with me. Okay. I'm having a little like weather system change here. Hot flash. It's not pretty. I mean, I am, but it's not. So the makeup not really on tonight. Whatever. You guys will forgive me, right? And the lights. Oh my gosh, the lights. The photography lights, you have to have them. But it's hot. And I don't know. I think the cats just don't like my menopause vibe. I don't know. They've run from the room. Mouse has left a mess. Do you see that? Do you see that? That's not mine. That is cat food from Mouse. And Mercury's just as bad. Look at this. Do you see that? Do you see that? Why are they doing this to me? They're trying to shame me online is what they're doing. Do you love it? Yeah. Okay. I'm so excited about tonight because we're going to make black salt. We're going to make black salt, and I'm going to talk about several different ways, okay? We've got the old traditional way with ash, okay? There's other old traditional ways. We're going to get into them. We're also going to use several different kinds of salts. We are going to use kosher salt, one of my favorites. This is not my favorite. Iodized salt. Yes, it is my own personal summer joy. It is, as I'm spilling salt. And I'll be throwing some over my shoulder later because I'm very superstitious. So this is iodized salt. Don't love it. Honestly, I don't know how this got into my house. It's still full. It's open, but it's full. I don't use this to cook with. I don't really use this in my practice. I will sometimes use it to take a bath. Don't love that. I will use it to wash clothes with. But I don't love the iodized. Okay. Many years ago, the central part of the US, okay, was experiencing a high amount of people having goiters, okay, which is from your thyroid. And because they had stripped the minerals out of the earth because they weren't rotating their gardens, they were trying to overgrow necessities like wheat and stuff. Really, what are you doing? So there was no iodine left in the soil. So our government took it upon itself to start iodizing the salt so that people wouldn't have goiters. Okay, love that. But now I don't think we need it as much. And now a large amount of people in the US have thyroid problems. I'm not saying that's why. I'm not wearing a tinfoil hat or anything. I have some theories. But I'm not hopefully not crazy with them. But I don't love this salt. My absolute, somebody asked me this the last time I did the show. My absolute favorite salt is Dead Sea salt, but I'm out of it. Yeah. Why am I out of it? Because I use it all the time. I have the nosiest cat on the planet right now. Like Mercury, I've had this sitting out on my desk for hours, love, hours. She's just now interested in it. Does anybody have one of these? Yeah. Okay. So, just going through the salts. One of my other favorites is pink Himalayan salt. Oh, we love that. Oh, we love some pink Himalayan salt. I also have pink Himalayan rock salt because I wanted to give you guys a good understanding, of what I'm using here. This is my kosher salt that I already have in the jar. And see, I even have it labeled properly. Okay, I'm not showing it to you. Yeah. So I'll be sitting the boxes down now. But if you can get your hands on some Dead Sea salt, Highly recommend it. When I lived in Colorado, it was really, really easy to buy because Vitamin Cottage, which is a place that I have talked about on the show before, Vitamin Cottage in Denver had pink Himalayan salt. And somebody, I think it was Kelsey. Kelsey lives in Nebraska. And she said Vitamin Cottage had changed its name. Probably. I haven't lived in Denver in a minute. But Vitamin Cottage used to carry bags of Dead Sea salt. And I would go in there and buy it all the time. All the time. Yeah. That was actually before I told people what I was doing with it. But, you know, yeah. So, yeah, we're out now. Right? So I have a bunch of stuff that I want to go over, and then I'm going to show you how to make it. Okay? So we have a lot of different salts here, and they're all different textures. Okay? Dead Sea salt is a little rocky. It's not as rocky as this. Okay? It's not as like the crystals aren't as big, but it's certainly not as fine as this. Okay? Yes, thank you, Kelsey. Thank you. It is now called Natural Grocers. So if you are in the Nebraska, Colorado area, Natural Grocers, Vitamin Cottage, it's what it used to be. Love it. Love it. And hello, Tiffany. So I have all these different kinds of salts because of the different textures. Kosher salt also has its own like texture. It's not powdery, but it's a different kind of grainy. Okay, so it accepts the colors, let's say, a little differently. The different ways of making the salt black. Yeah, the pink Himalayan salt is going to turn like this, like it's going to turn like this black when I put the food dye part into it. And the kosher salt does turn dark, but not as dark as the pink Himalayan salt. Again, I love it. I love the pink Himalayan salt. Okay, so I want to show you guys some of the other tools that I use. All right. Now, we have a mortar and pestle here. In fact, you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and switch this up because this is so tiny. You guys don't need to see this in tiny form, do you? No, none of us need that. And I mean, reading glasses, yeah. Okay, so the mortar and pestle that I have, I love this. This is awesome. I actually have a couple of these. I got this from IKEA. Okay. It's not fancy. It's like clearly dirty because I use the shit out of it. Crap out of it. I use crap out of it. But I got this from IKEA. I love it. And I really do like the darker colors better, the darker stones. This is pretty heavy. I love this particular one. I also love like that I can use both ends to pulverize stuff. It's great. Now you'll also see that I already have ash in this one. And I use this mortar and pestle set quite a bit, but I do not use it when I make black salt. It stains it. Yeah. And I'm a Virgo and I don't like stains. So there you have that. So this beautiful thing doesn't stain. And I just like the feel of this one. It's really great. So I have several. Again, IKEA. I love it. Some of the salts I will not put in here. I won't put in one that's already a finely grained salt. I won't put it in here because I don't want to pulverize it into powder. I don't want black salt powder. Okay. I will pulverize some of these, you know, a bit because this will also turn into powder. But I don't sometimes I just keep them as the rock. And I will tell you, you'll see that I have 2 here. This one has been under the new moon in Pisces, and this one has not. Yes, I charge everything in the moon for, many reasons, but I do new moon and full moon, different things. I really do like to put my salts that I'm going to use to make black salt. I like to put them under the new moons because they're the dark moon and we're making black salt. I know. You see where I'm at with that? I know. It's a fun place to be in my mind sometimes. But I do a lot of stuff in the dark moon as well as the full moon. But I like to put when I'm making black salt, I like to sit it out in the new moon. And this Pisces new moon I felt like was pretty special, so I set this outside. Okay. So you will also note that I have quite a bit of jars here. Oh, yes. Yes, Jennifer, we have noticed that there's quite a bit of jars here and different sizes and different shapes. Yes, as many practitioners do, I love some jars. So, first of all, I do a lot of canning. My mom and my aunt have been teaching me a lot about canning for the last like 5 or 6 years, and I know it's been longer than that. Oh my gosh, when my son was born, 2016. So it's been a minute. Oh my god, it's really been a long time. So I do a lot of canning, so I always have like different sizes of ball jars around. Okay. However, I just realized that I'm like, don't have rings on. Um, however, I also save jars from like jelly if I just like the jar. I mean, that's a pretty little jar, isn't it? And I just like it. If people give me something in a jar and it was tasty, oh, I'm in. I am in. I have some jars that a friend of mine gave me that I, of course, don't have in here. That's nice. They're shaped like a skull, and they're awesome. They're amazing, and I love those jars. Then I have these jars with like flip caps, like these and these. And I just get these all over. Sometimes I get them at Target, sometimes I get them at IKEA, just wherever they're on sale, to be quite honest with you. I just like them. They're really great. They have a nice tight seal, and I like them because I never lose the lid. um, and they're fantastic. They really are. I have a lot of ball jars just because they're convenient and they're easy to like purchase. But let me tell you, if you know a practitioner, if you know anybody that's into like growing or I don't know, like any kind of witch stuff, get them jars. You will be their best friend. Buy them some jars for like gifts. If you're going to their house to eat dinner or something, just bring them a couple of really unique jars. They'll love you for it. I mean, really, because I do put herbs and stuff in baggies, but I also put a lot in jars. So, pretty interesting. See, this is like my crushed roses. So that is something that I use the mortar and pestle for, is to crush up roses. And here is my star, and I'm probably gonna say this wrong. Anise. It's the stuff that you use to make licorice. I mean, it smells like licorice. So you're probably also wondering why in the hell I have all these herbs and stuff out. It's not just to show you the jars. okay? It's not. Because I want you to see that making black salt is not just about coloring the salt, okay? Um, it's there's a multitude of things here. So when we're making black salt, what do we use black salt for? Does everyone know? Protection. Um, I can't leave it sprinkled around my house like I used to, because of the ton of cats that I seem to have adopted. And I do have a million cats. That's why I go to the Dollar Tree and get these tiny little jars. I mean, they're tiny and they're glass. The salt reacts better to glass than it does plastic. Um, so I like buying these at the Dollar Tree. They come 4 to a pack. Hold, please. They come 4 to a pack. And they're just perfect for putting your black salt in and sitting around something, like a little shelf near your front door or beside your bed or in a windowsill where your cats usually sleep. Now, the thing is, I have tested these. My cats knock these down quite a bit and they haven't broken yet. Can they break? 100%. Because they are glass. So you do need to be careful around your pets, but that's why I'm not sprinkling it like around my house anymore. I will put it outside, but I don't like salting the earth. I mean, we don't need to do that. There's something itching really bad on my arm. We don't need to really salt the earth, but if you're wanting to protect something or someone, I will write their name on a little slip of paper and put it in a jar. Sometimes I bury it. Sometimes I just keep it on my shelf. Like I have an entire cabinet over here. This just my my stuff. And this is fantastic. And I'll put it on there and maybe I'll leave it in there for like a 6-month moon cycle. So like we just had the Pisces new moon, maybe I'll leave it in there until the Pisces full moon and check in with that person and see like if there's something I need to do extra, right? Quite honestly, I have a list. I have a list that of people that I have to restore or rejuvenate the protections or whatever it is that's going on for them. Like some of them I have a list that says hoping they find their voice, their authentic voice, stuff like that. I do that every new moon and full moon depending on what I have on my list. And those are people that I just check in with periodically and go, hey, how are you doing? Where are you at with this? If they haven't called me, So, just letting you know some of the things I do here. If you want to really boost up your black salt, you can burn some stuff to put in it first. Now, I should have already started this because this does take a minute. It takes forever. Hold. Okay, I had to move some stuff because the cats were too interested in it. Okay. I was like, I know it's here somewhere. All right. So what we have here is charcoal. All right. Now, I'm not going to go into all of the properties of these herbs and oils and everything that I'm using tonight because this isn't that kind of class. This is the class to teach you about black salt. This is not the class to go over the properties. We can do that another time, or, I'll touch base on a few of them, but you can also look them up, okay? Especially in Cunningham's Medicinal Herbs or Magical Herbs. Love that book. I thought that I had unpacked it because I have been doing great things in my office. But it's Cunningham's, Scott Cunningham's Magical Herbs. Fantastic. There's also one for medicinal herbs. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and light the charcoal briquette because this does take some time to burn down. And, okay, don't catch my camera on fire. You know, do you love doing things in a live show that just fizzle like this charcoal briquette? And you can see in this nice little pot that I already have some ash in there, ready to go. Okay, I have another little lighter, but clearly I'm doing really good. There we go. There we go. Y'all, I practice this. That's why there's already ash in there. I practice this. So what I was going to show you is while the charcoal is burning a little bit, I don't know if you can see the smoke, you can put herbs on that charcoal brick and it will burn with it. Okay, so just for fun, a couple of the herbs that I have out is rosemary and lavender. All right, happen to be some of my favorites. And see, it's gonna, if the charcoal is really flaming, which you do blow out the flames because you want the charcoal to simmer. And we can put some rosemary on there. I also have a lot of examples. I have some mugwort, I have some yarrow, I have arnica flowers, I have jasmine, I have palo santo. I have a lot of different like herbs, and you just choose what you want. I also like using resin. I have lots of different resins. See, you can already see that it's turning. You can already see that the herbs are getting like blackened, right, by the charcoal. So I'm going to let that simmer. It is giving off some good smoke. So here's hoping that I'm not like continually embarrassed by my own lack of, I thought I had another lighter right there. It's the lighter that I used earlier to test this. I'm just going to give it one more go. Okay, so while we're letting that burn a little bit and turn more into ash, you can put a lot of stuff on that. You can put La Hermosa Bruja. Now, this is an old bag, but I love the bags that she sends. This is how she sends her smudge bags. Like Carrie, a lot of you guys know Carrie at La Hermosa Bruja. She's taken herself off of Facebook. I don't blame her. She is on YouTube and TikTok. And what I like to do is I've added to this because I love the bag. But I've also added my own stuff to it. She's probably like, Jennifer, it's not good. But I add my own stuff to it and I use it to sprinkle over the charcoal and let that, so if you have some smudge that you've bought from a reputable source that you can use, put it over the charcoal briquette, let it burn to ash, and then you can use that to mix with your salt. Okay, I want to use that. Oh, this is some black salt that I've already made. And you can see that I have some, like there's some whole herbs in there. There's some pieces of Palo Santo, as a matter of fact. So this is one from ash. This is also a lot of the ash from my, uh, oh my gosh, I can't, incense. My incense sticks. So I save the ash from my incense sticks and I use it in these. I also use the incense sticks in my smudge that I carry around when I go clear people's businesses or their homes or their properties or whatever. And you can see like the incense sticks are still present in there. Um, in this, I have roses. I have a lot of different herbs. I have mugwort, I have sage, of course. I have lavender, I have rosemary. I have a lot of stuff in here because if you are clearing your home, and I can't stress this enough, if you are clearing your home with just sage, you're not you're kind of leaving a vacuum. You have to clear with sage and clear all the energy out, but you need to replace that energy with something. You need to replace it with something good or better than what was there because energy hates a vacuum. Nature abhors a vacuum. So it wants to fill it. It wants to fill that empty space with something that maybe was already there and felt more comfortable. So you could clear your house every single day, but if you're not replacing that energy with something else, the old energy can just slide back in. So that's another reason for the black salt. Wow, I really must have lit this up. That is turning gray real quick. It's impressive. So we can mix this ash with salt and agitate it so that you can see like it turns the salt black. This is something else that I want to point out. These are some, let's call them more modern ways. These capsules are activated charcoal. Activated charcoal is super messy, real messy, but it's amazing and it turns the salt obviously black. But you can still put in the ash from the charcoal briquette, same difference, right? You can still put in the ash from that, or if you don't want to use a charcoal briquette, or if you don't have charcoal briquettes, you can put the rosemary, the lavender, the cinnamon, the saffron. Yeah, I know. I love saffron. I got this from Costco. Saffron. Um, let's see, what else do I have over here? Oh, all the stuff that I mentioned before. Again, I love using mugwort in this. I really do. You can put that just like in just a little burner and just like light it on fire and just ash it up yourself. You don't have to have a charcoal briquette. You can also put it in a pan, in a frying pan on your cooktop. So in your kitchen. So that is absolutely okay. It's absolutely okay. Some people don't like burning this stuff if they feel like it's a fire hazard or they live in an apartment or something like that. I did this stuff in my condo in Denver, so I mean, don't tell. I'm just kidding. So this is super messy. And earlier, I didn't think the activated charcoal was going to come off my fingers. So it got under my fingernails. Ah, yep. See, I did it again. So I cracked it because it makes it easier to come out. But can you see just the activated charcoal? It is literally just black powder. It will stain like the devil, so be wary. And I didn't want to wear my beautiful little apron for you guys tonight. I know. But I did come prepared. I do have some wipes. So because I do have it all over my fingers. And yes, I'm going to make you watch me clean my fingers because I don't want this on here. But it's a good thing I'm not wearing my fingernails tonight. But that's also why I don't have on my eyelashes, because it took me a while to get the activated charcoal off my fingers, and I didn't want to put my eyelashes on and have activated charcoal all over my eyes. I'm not Egyptian. Yeah. Okay, I'm hot. I have to turn the fan on, and it's going to make this go crazy. So, okay. The other thing, we are going to mix it with activated charcoal, but I want you to see this. This is gel food coloring. Okay. This is what I'm using. It is not the icing. It's not the drawing, the stuff that you use to draw on a cake with icing. It is not that. It is gel food coloring. Okay. It comes in little pots. It comes in tubes. I've used both. I like both, but it is really intense. You don't have to use that much of it, just like you don't have to use that much of the activated charcoal. And let me show you. Now, normally, I put this in one of these jars, like whatever jar that I'm mixing it in, or whatever jar that I'm going to sit out in the moon. And I have been known to put my salt, because you know the new moons usually last for 3 days, just like the full moons. I have been known to put the salt out in the moon, clear it, and along with like whatever I'm using, the activated charcoal, the anything that I've purchased somewhere, I will put it out in the moon to clear it, and I'll make it either later that night, later that morning, and clear it again after I've mixed it, or like clear it and then save it for another time, you know, like clear it under the Pisces moon and then make it under like an Aries new moon. Okay, can you guys see this? I did not push it back far enough. Okay, so you see how mixing this is just, it doesn't take a whole lot. The activated charcoal really, really gets in there. It does its job. Now, what I'm going to do, you see, the activated charcoal really works well. So there you go. That's one type of black salt. All right. Now, as soon as this, and look how like this has really, really turned gray. Okay. And it's super hot. So this is where you want to use like some tongs, or if you wear a lot of eyelashes like I do, you have a shit ton of these little eyelash tweezers, because, you know, they give them to you every time you buy eyelashes. Oh gosh. See? That's just one hot briquette. And by the way, this charcoal, super hot. Please proceed with caution. Do not burn yourself. Do not set your place on fire. But can you see the smoke coming off of it? It's really, really hot. See how red it is? Okay. So now it's really going. Look at that. So when this is done and cooled off, I can add it to the salt with the activated charcoal, or I can just add it to its own thing there that it already has herbs and stuff in it. And it's going to come out looking a lot like this. Okay. And I want you to see that even adding more salt to this, and this is truly how I do a lot of my mixtures. I do something like what Bob Ross always says. Like when he says to clean the brush, he always says, you know, and just beat the devil out of it. Well, that's kind of what I do with the salt. So what I do is I just put the lid on it, and I just want you to see, I just shake it up. And do you see? I mean, it's just salt, but it really is like the herbs and the charcoal and the ash, they're absorbing it. But you can see the Palo Santo in there. That is absolutely fine. That is absolutely fine. And then what I'll do is I'll just put it in tiny little jars, and I'll put it all around my house. Somewhere that hopefully the cats won't bother it. I have noticed that if I put it in like plain view for the cats, they'll leave it alone. Go figure, you know? Yeah. So this is the activated charcoal. So this is typically what it's going to look like. This is also, it's going to be that dark when you use the food coloring. It is going to be that dark. And it's not, you don't have to use that much. Just like that was one capsule. And it depends on how much square footage you're trying to cover, or if you're trying to give it away, you know, what are you trying to do with it? I brought all my incense out because I wanted you to see the different types that I have that I use. This is one of my favorites. I love frankincense. I do. Yeah, I have Egyptian jasmine, I have amber, I have cedar. I have a lot of different incense. Yeah, frankincense. I had some frankincense resin. I've used it. Yeah, I've used it all. So that takes care of that. Then I have some cones. I saved the ash from this. This is actually one of my favorite brands. I have the cones that I use from this. I saved the ash and I put it right in there. Let's see, what else do I have in here? I do like using the crushed roses. Creosote. That's the other thing I use. So I'll like burn some creosote and put in there. Just again to like use it to stir it up. It's real. Creosote is fascinating to me. I love that. I could do a whole show on creosote. And there's a wonderful, wonderful place on Etsy that you can buy your creosote if you are interested. Because they send it to you in bundles, in smudge bundles. Now, a million years ago, I put myself through school working as a pharmacy tech. So I have pharmacy spatulas all over the place. These are fantastic. If you can get them, use them. If not, you can use a knife. But I do like using pharmacy spatulas. Regular spatulas work too. Doesn't matter. It's just stirring it up, right? Okay, I want to use some of the... Okay, so here's some of the kosher salt. And, okay. Of course, everything is cooperating so well because I'm live. All right, so the kosher salt you can see is still, it's still granular. It's just not as fine as the pink Himalayan salt example that I have here. And it's definitely not as fine as like the iodized salt. You know, my favorite. But every time I have purchased Dead Sea salt, it comes, it's less rocky than this, but it's still largely rock. Okay. Let's stir this up. I want you to see. Now the gel you have to sort of squish it down. Is this how like all those TV cooks felt, like Julia Child? This feels weird. All right, so this you sort of have to squish down because it is a gel. All right, it's not a liquid. Squish, pack. All right, you see how it's turning the white salt sort of gray, right? When you put the gel in pink Himalayan salt, this is what it looks like. It's just really dark. So you don't have to have a mortar and pestle to do this. You don't have to have like a fancy anything. I mean, you can literally do this probably with everything that you have in your kitchen right now. And even if you don't have access to a bonfire, yeah, you can do this. You can create your own ash. If you're burning incense in your house, you can make black salt. You don't even need the charcoal. Which black salt recipe works for you protection-wise? You know what, Tiffany, that is a really great question, but none of them work particularly better than others because it's your intention. It is your intention. How many times I will preach this to you guys until like I'm like 18, 20 years in the grave. Do you want me to come and haunt you? Yeah. So it's your intention. 90%, okay, let's back it down. 85% of any kind of spell, any kind of craft, any kind of practice is your intention. These are our tools. It's your intention and it's your energy that you're putting out there. You need for it to be pure and you need for it to be real and strong. It's your intention. So, do you see how gray that is? You can make it darker if you want, but it's truly not going to get that much darker than this unless you're using like an entire tube, which you can. I did have a student do that one time. It was a lot of fun cleaning up. Yeah. So that's fun. I did want to show you can burn cinnamon sticks, or you can do like I do and just buy it already ground up. Yeah, I do sit this out in the moon to clear it. Anything that I purchase that I have not grown myself, I clear in the moon. Sometimes a couple of cycles of the moon. Always in the full moon. The full moon is like, is a lot of purification. Well, I mean, so is the dark moon for that matter. But I have a tendency to clear all of my stuff in the full moon, like all my crystals and stuff. So anything that I have purchased and not grown myself gets put out in the moon. Okay, let me rephrase that. Unless I buy it from another practitioner. Okay. Stuff that I buy from a trusted practitioner, I typically don't put out in the full moon to cleanse unless it has to be shipped. Yeah. And then we don't know, right? We don't know what's happened. Okay. Here's some other things that I want to talk to you about adding to your salt. Now, I've talked about my love for IKEA, haven't I? Okay. These are crystal seeds. That's the actual term for these. They are from a company called Remnants of Magic. It's www.remnantsofmagic.com. I love buying these from them. I use them in all kinds of things. I've sent these out to a few people that make candles or that do their own stuff. But sometimes, and there are a whole bunch of different crystals in here, but you can really see like what crystals are what if you really start looking. Now, here's where a good mortar and pestle comes in, all right? Do you see, like, you can kind of see what crystals, like, which are which when you really start looking at them? I will take these tiny little fragments of crystal seeds after I've cleared them in the full moon, and I will pulverize the crap out of them in the mortar and pestle. I will beat the devil out of them, and I will get some powdered crystals and put into my salt. I don't do that every day. I don't do it very often, but sometimes we need that boost. Sometimes we need that energy in it, and it's highly worth it. Here is my latest, some of my burnings. Actually, some of the flakes in there are obviously not just from my incense, but I did have to burn a few little pieces of paper today. So they're in there. And there was something else that I wanted to tell you guys. I know I'm forgetting something. I know I am. And please, 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 if you have questions and you don't want to bring them up, that's fine. Or if you're watching it in the rerun, email me right here at this email address, okay? I will get back to you. It may take me some time. Ask Tiffany. Ask Tiffany how long it takes me to get back sometimes. I mean, I'm trying. I'm trying to keep up with everything. But I will be honest with you. I like to crush up roses, and I like to put roses into a lot of different practices that I have, a lot of different things. You've seen that I like to use roses in my smudge, especially when the roses, if I didn't grow them, and they were given to me with love, they were given to me like just something special. Maybe it was a special occasion, or maybe I bought them for myself. And again, drying the roses out and clearing them under the moon. Yeah. I truly do not know if this is going to be cool enough. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and make it in this bowl with this ash, or ash that I've already collected. You're not seeing that. Ash that I have already collected from a burn pile outside, which you can do. If you do not have access to a yard with a burn pile, please do not feel like you have to start a fire in your sink. You don't. I want you to see that there are many ways to do this, okay? Activated charcoal, ACEs, gel food coloring, again, ACEs. If you want to burn some herbs in a small little burner, perfect. If you have, really, you saw how quickly the lavender and the rosemary that I use really burned down to ash when I just lit it with fire, when I just burned it with fire. You can absolutely do that. You do not have to feel like you have to go to a bonfire and do all of that, okay? I promise. In fact, let me see if I can burn this down a little more so that you can see. And yeah, I do use a lot of glass. I use a lot of glass jars and stuff, glass bowls. But do not burn yourself, because glass is an insulator. Yeah. So the glass will get hot real quick. But do you see how it's still, do you see, I don't know if you can see, it's still turning more into ash. So you can do this like really right there. And let me tell you, if you're trying to protect your business, your home, your spouse, your children, your pets, whatever, write that down on a piece of paper and burn it. Or just stick it in the salt. You don't even have to burn it. Just stick it in the salt. If I wanted to do that with this salt, with nothing else in it, that is absolutely fine. The rosemary, the lavender, the rose petals, the frankincense, all of that stuff it's extra, and it boosts it and it makes me feel better. And it does have its own properties. It 100% does. But I cannot stress to you enough, your intention is the key. Your intention is everything. There's a reason why at the end of every show that I do, that I say, get out there and make your magic, because I feel like you are the magic. These are our tools. And I think they're important. I truly do. But you can't just put this in your house, or put this like around your loved ones, or put it beside your bed and just think it's going to do all the work. It is going to do a good bit of it, but it's not going to do all the work. You have to put your intention in. And that's why I like using fire like so much to send energy out. That's why I like using candles so much, because I put my intention into the candle and then I light the flame and I let the flame do the work after I've set my intentions and I've released it. That's part of it. Part of this is that I can set this in a jar. I can put this black salt in a jar with my kids' names on them, and it's completely covered up by that black salt. And I can say, please protect them. Please protect their bedroom. Please protect them while they sleep. Protect them like at their desks or wherever I sit it. And I can put that energy out there, and then I let it go. I put it all and completely into the tool, and I let the tool do its job. But it's my intention that's in it. Does that make sense to you guys? It's my intention that's in it. Yeah. And I think that's why I do like clearing with the moon, because I feel like no one can change the moon's intention. So I do a lot of clearing with the moon, and there's some things that I clear with the sun, because I did learn that, hang on, it's a type of crystal, and it does not like the moon. It likes the sun and the wind, and I like that. Yes, thank you, Tiffany. It is. Intention is the key. And I maybe I haven't said this in a while, because it's been a while since we've done some actual, I think it's been a minute since we've done real spells on here on this show. But the thing is, like, it is 100% your intention. And if you mean something negative, Spirit will know it. That's why you have to come to this pure. You have to come to this with good intentions and just be like, I don't want to cause harm, because that's not something that you want to come back on you. It's not. So when I'm angry, I don't do this kind of stuff. I don't do any kind of practice when I'm that angry. And I have been accused of doing some pretty horrible stuff, but I haven't. I can honestly say that I have never put out like that negative kind of spell work. That is not my jam. That is not something I preach. I mean, and I will tell anybody who's listening, you don't do that. You don't want to do that. And I get people asking me all the time, can you just make him do this? Can you just make her do that? No, no, no. And everybody has free will. So no, no. Oh, there we go. Okay. Now it's all nice and red in there. Not adding that to salt, not until it cools down. So, and this is really a fantastic little thing here. I'm going to drop this. I don't know if you guys can see this. Can you see it from here? It's just like, it's just a little pot, and it's a nice little burner. You can use it to burn incense. You can use it to burn charcoal. You can obviously use it to burn herbs and I just said it. I just said it a minute ago. Resin. Oh my gosh. Seriously, it's so hot in here. Okay, it's like Joy said, it is my own personal summer. It's just so much fun. I really, really, truly wish that I could say, oh yes, I am enjoying the beginning of menopause. It's so much fun. Everyone should try it. I'm going to have people tuning out as I say that, and that's fine. Okay. So anyway, it's a really great way. It's a little brass, it's just a little brass bowl. And it has like a wood, it has a wood base that you can sit it on. But it also, the wood base you can cover and smother. You can smother out the charcoal briquettes. We do like neat stuff here. Yeah. So, okay. And I do have essential oils. I do not add essential oils until it's completely cool. I don't. Not all of them have alcohol in it, but why risk it, right? So I'm showing you a bunch of different essential oils that I use. And then what did I miss? Do you guys have questions about like what I'm using or what I'm doing, or tools that I've skipped, or something that I've done that you're just like, all right, now what the hell was that? I use black salt a lot for protection. Sometimes I will use it for, other practices or something, but typically I use it a lot for protection. And I used to, again, before cats came into my life, sprinkle it all over the place. But that was because my dog couldn't reach the windowsill, and I had a dog named Captain that would eat everything, but he couldn't reach the windowsill. So I would sprinkle it across the windowsills. I would put it just, everywhere. I had a sliding glass door when I lived in Denver, so I sprinkled it across the sliding glass door. It does make it a lot more challenging with cats, because I don't want them to, step on it, lick their paws, just get into it, because some of the herbs that I use are not good for cats. Some of the herbs I use are not good for like dogs either. But again, my dogs typically aren't licking the windowsills. So that's when I started coming up with, how can I do this? The other reason I use these little glass jars is because I tried doing plastic bags. And my husband thought that, he was like, is this some kind of drug that I should know about? Because it was just sitting in the windowsill. And I was like, no. But I did learn that the cats could chew through that. some very determined cats. So no, we don't want to do that. So I started using this because they can't chew through it. You may have already said this, but how often do you change out the vials you put around your house? Oh my gosh, that is a great question. That is freaking great. It absolutely depends. If there are a lot of people in and out of my house, pretty often. If it's just the standard, few of us and there's nobody new coming in, I would say monthly, maybe every couple of months. But the thing is, you can feel, I should switch this. You can feel when the energy of your home is stagnant, right? You can feel when the energy of your home needs a refresher. Because let's think of the black salt like we think of vitamins, all right? Or we think of zinc, or what are those little powders that we put in water and drink that has like a lot of vitamin C and emergency? Yeah, emergency packets. It has a lot of vitamin C and a lot of B vitamins. So let's think of the black salt as like protecting our area, protecting our home, a lot like the vitamin C, right? So we need to, like, sometimes we need to increase it. Sometimes it's fine for like to keep the same stuff for a while. But the thing is, the energy of your home. If there's a lot of people coming in and out of your home, that energy is going to get messed up. Just like if you're going to be on an airplane, a lot of people use the emergency or airborne or something like that before they get on an airplane, like maybe a few days before they get on a plane or they're going on a trip, because anytime we're in someplace different, our immune system isn't really used to that, right? Our immune system is just like, oh shit, there's like 140 people around me breathing on me and giving me their cooties. I don't need this. So you want to give your immune system some help. This is giving your energetic immune system in your house some help. That's how I use it in my home. I do use it for, like I said, other things. Writing stuff down on little pieces of paper, sticking it in the vial, or burning the paper in the charcoal with the ash and using it that way. Either way, it works just fine. And I just like to, those I have to renew, because no spell work will last indefinitely. It doesn't. You have to recharge it. You have to recharge it, just like you do your phone, just like you do your body every night when you go to sleep. You have to recharge. So anything, any kind of spell work, any kind of energy work has to be recharged. It has to be recharged. So keeping that in mind, recharge. By the way, our friend selenite can also charge your black salt. It can clear your salt. If you don't have time to put this out in the moon, if you got some crazy stuff happening in your house right now, go to Costco like I do, or your grocery store. It really doesn't matter. I mean, even the Dollar Tree. Get your salt, pink Himalayan, kosher, not iodized, please. But you can use that. You can use table salt. You can. It's just me being a salt snob. You can use iodized salt. Charge it. If you don't have time to put it out in the moon, let's say it's in the middle of a waxing or a waning moon, there's no full moon or new moon in sight, charge it with selenite. Just sit it on selenite for like an hour or so. It'll clear it, and then you're good to go. Okay? But anything I purchase and I'm not growing myself and I don't know who's handled it or what their energy was like, I clear it. It's just a good rule of thumb. I do the same thing with all my cards. Where's my deck of cards? Where's my deck of, oh. You know, I came in here one morning in my office, and my deck of cards was everywhere. I mean, everywhere. It was all over this counter back here on this credenza, this cube station, all over the floor. And I was just like, were y'all reading your cards? I mean, it's like Mouse and Mercury were just like, oh, I needed to see what was in the cards for me. So then I had to stand here and count and make sure that I had all 78 cards before I had to go get another deck and open them up. And by the way, I keep selling out of these, but I was like, well, that's great. So yes, all 78 were present. I guess they found out what they wanted to know. So I've been putting them up now. What are they doing? I mean, they play with my crystals. That's fine. That seems like fun, right? I mean, they're out there. So clearly they're there for them to play with. But my cards, really? Mouse has never done this. It's Mercury. I think it's just her. She's in here just like going, huh, what can we do in her office when she's not here? Yeah. And they have to be in my office because those two don't get along with Badger or Monty or Beauty or Dolly or, I mean, yeah, or the kittens. There's just, so those two only get along with each other. So they are office cats. Mm-hmm. They're special. Yes, selenite for the win. Selenite for the win, indeed. Okay. All right. Do you guys have any other questions? If you have a favorite flower, if you have a favorite herb, I highly, highly recommend that you look it up in Cunningham's Magical Herbs. I love that book. I love it. I thought I had 2 copies, but I may only have 1. You know, I loan that stuff out. I got to keep a list. But it's really informative. It's fantastic. Cunningham's. I hope I covered everything for you guys. If you need, I do have, like, I have some of this stuff written out for classes that I've taught. This is wonderful. It is just a purification blend. Yeah, it's nice just to add to your salt. Sun's Eye, I like the brand. Purification. And I just, just a little dab. Yeah. Okay, did that answer your question, by the way, Tiffany? I hope. Are you guys having a good month? I gotta tell you, I feel like I knew the instant that Venus went retrograde because people are just insane. Yeah. I mean, like today at Costco, I had to do some really fast maneuvering because this woman was waiting for the parking place, and I was leaving, and this woman was waiting for my parking place, and she had already rolled down her window and told me to leave my cart because she was going to take the cart back up, and she goes, just leave it, I'll take it. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna put it over here so you don't hit your car. This person, I don't know if it was a man, woman, or goat, but this person whipped their little car in there trying to get that parking place because they saw me getting in the car, and I was like, I am so sorry. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Fried Green Tomatoes, but I'm not going to allow you to take this person's parking place. I'm not going to ram your car because, yeah, I may have more insurance, but I don't like paying heavy premiums. So I did some fast maneuvering and I just blocked their little ass in so that woman could get the parking place. I was just like, and then I went, and she was laughing. She was laughing. I mean, I was just like, oh, I love her. But she was just laughing. So she got the parking place. I felt like I had done my good deed. But people were just running all over everybody. And I was like, y'all, we need to be nice to each other. Venus is retrograde. It ain't burned down. It's coming back. But god dang, there's some crazy people out there. Yeah. So, let's just all watch it out there. Okay. It is Venus retrograde, but we don't need to be assholes about it. I hope they don't ding me on YouTube for this, but I'm trying not to cuss as much because they'll ding you on YouTube. All right. So, I hope y'all are doing well. I hope you are enjoying this Venus retrograde. Mercury goes retrograde just a little bit later. And that's going to be fun to have Venus retrograde that only happens every couple of years and Mercury that goes retrograde every other week, it feels like. And coupled together so that communication in relationships does a complete nosedive. Yeah. And I have already told Tiffany that I wanted to do some work with her, wanted to do some projects, but I will not discuss it until Venus goes direct because I have been down that road before. And the last partnership that I had that started during Venus retrograde, crash and burn. We're not doing that shit again. Nope. I'm double ruled by Venus. I'm hiding out more than usual right now. Okay. That. Yep. Right there. That's exactly it. Yeah. I think, if you can, let's just all hibernate for the next few weeks, until April 12th. Let's just give it a little bit more. Let's just do it until like the week after April 12th. So like what, April 19th? Then we'll all come up for air. Yeah, that'd be great. Just food for thought. Just one woman's opinion. Love it. Yeah. Tiffany, I do want to talk to you about something else, and I will forget to tell you if I don't say it now. But it's another project, but not until April. Yeah. Okay, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. I hope you have a wonderful night. Thank you to all of you that have been enjoying the numerology videos. I do appreciate it. And are you guys at all interested in the zodiac readings coming back? I'm just curious. I'm just putting it out there. Just let me know. I'm thinking about doing the zodiac readings again, but I'm only thinking about doing them monthly and not weekly. I feel like I don't know. I mean, it's a lot for me. I'll just tell you, weekly. But with as many things as I have going on, but I am thinking about doing it monthly. So let me know what you guys think. The zodiac readings. All right. I will check out now. It is, I've run over again. What a shocker. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I really do. I hope y'all have a fantastic week. And until we see each other again, what are you going to do? Get out there and make your magic. Bye.